Hi and welcome back to the channel in this Blitzkrieg German build showcase. This video we would have done sooner, but we've been recently added in some extra units, and I said to Mel, well, we'll do the video once those are all done and then we can show off them to the guys and that where we're at the moment. But if you haven't seen any of the other videos that we've done putting this force together, somewhere in the cards above, down below, wherever it'll flash up, it'll be the playlist obviously of all the videos up to this point. So this force is what we've done so far is the showcase for, well, would have been the campaign that we would have played at Christmas, plus some extra units we've added in. We were going to add in anyway, but we've just done them post, sort of would have been post campaign. So it's extra sort of bits and pieces. And no doubt in the future we will continue to add to the these Germans and also the BEF figures and that we've done, the force we've built for that. So then we'll do update videos and that, just showing you where it's at from then on. So I expect these showcase videos of the forces in time will grow and special, because I'm really into the early war period. So without further ado, I'll spin the camera around and we'll take a look at the figures. So here we have then the start of 7th Panzer Division's force that I've built for our chain of command campaign that we were doing. Is in front of us here now is, you'll see, screws fingers here as I go through the video, the two anti-tank rifle teams. Again, by this stage of the war and that, it's pretty obsolete, but again, still included in the list, still including the force orders of battle and that for the force makeups. The reason I got two was there was a metal figure group that I've already got, and the other one come in the Pioneer box set that I bought. So I thought I'd just make them up, and it gives people the options if they wanted to take those as support elements in their chain of command game. Next to that, lying down here, is the little 50mm light mortar team, 3-man team. I think it's 2 men in the bolt action off the top of my head, right looking in the book. 3 men in the chain of command. Over the back here, we got first section and second section. There's 4 infantry sections, and they're all the same makeup. And that's with a 3-man light machine gun team. Got one here and there's the 3rd man there. 6-man rifle team and then a junior leader. There is an option to play them as Panzer Grenadiers by taking out some of the rifle men on the rifle team and putting the other light machine gun in there to have 2 light machine gun teams and a junior leader. And as I said, there's 4 of those. They're all made up the same in that makeup. So there's number 2 section. Moving down the line, there's number 3 section there. And in front of us now coming through is some of the elements that we've added in to this force since the last videos, and that's the Pioneer teams. So in front of us now we've got, this first one is the mine clearance team. Metal arms and kit over a plastic body, not good. It's a nightmare gluing together, but they've all gone well, it's all wired together now. Next section, or next team we've got here and then is the wire cutting team. He's took his helmet off and he's cut his head. Look, that's why he's got a little bandage around his head. I quite like that, it's quite fun. What I'm going to do to this one, which I haven't done yet, is put a load of barbed wire and have it coming up through his wire cutters. So that's something I'm going to add into that. Next to that is a demo team. These guys go out and destroy bridges or breach an area and that, you know, if it's needed to be destroyed or whatever. So it's just a generic sort of demolition team really. And then next to them is the flamethrower team. So I'll get the flamethrower man here. Again, metal components, obviously the tank and the arms over a plastic body and a metal head. And not brilliant to glue together, but it's all done now. Over the back here, we've obviously got the platoon officer, senior leader there. Next to him is the medic crouched down, and on this one here is the platoon sergeant, which is an SS officer on their metal range, which I took off the peak cap and put on one of the Pioneer heads to it. So I say I quite like him how he's turned out. Moving along at the back there, we've got the little 75mm infantry howitzer. Again, I like synonymous throughout the whole war really. Nice little gun. I said in one of the videos when we painted these ones up, I got into the sort of habit with these little guns is to sort of part glue them to the base and then build them off of the base. So wheel and part of the trails to the carriage, the axle to the base, and then build it up that way. Because gluing some of these guns together are a pain in the neck. On the back there, the Panzer 38T and the Treble 2 armour car. Again, Treble 2 armour car served throughout the war and that. And the Panzer 38T is very synonymous with the 7th Panzer Division, the Ghost Division. So that's another reason why. And it's one of my favourite tanks. I've got to be honest, it's one of my favourite. The whole war is one of my favourites. In the middle here, we've got an MG34 team. And it's a Warlord team with a Crusader miniatures. There is some Crusader miniatures dotted about throughout the whole force. And I think you agree, he does sort of fit in quite nicely with the Warlord crew and that there. Most of the whole force is Warlord Games plastic or metals. And I've just sort of added in the odd, say, Crusader one just to sort of give it a little bit of variation, a bit of, you know, sort of spice it up a little bit. Next to that, obviously, the 37mm anti-tank gun. Again, by this stage of the war, 1940, going into 41, it is sort of becoming obsolete, really, but it's still in service. It's still being used widely across the German army. Likewise, like our 2-pounder was, and that we used that quite a lot into the desert and that. But and in front of here is the 4th infantry section, which is another section which we've added in since the last video, made up exactly the same as the other 3 sections. And over the back here, we've got 2 spare junior leaders at the moment. They're not really spare because these, in plain chain of command, these pioneer teams, you can take 2 pioneer teams plus a junior leader as one section. So again, that's the reason why there's 2 options of taking 2 junior leaders with those teams. So it gives me a bit more flexibility when I come to play. So there we have it, guys. That is the whole force. As you see, 4 infantry sections. Somebody did ask me that the other week while I was talking to them about what we was getting up to. And the reason for that is, like with the BEF, it gives them an option in the support choice to take an extra one. Or I can play them as the first wave Army Group A, and they are 4 sections strong. So again, I've got options to play multiple different ways with this force, similarly like I have with the British. I'll just pan the camera back over so you can see another look at them as we're going over. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this. I can't wait to get them on the table. So there we have it, guys. I'll just tend to spin the camera around and we'll do the outro. So there we have it, guys. What do you think to that then? Really excited to get and play these. It was a shame we couldn't play at Christmas, but really itching now to get these out on the table and play some games of Chain of Command. Or Bolt Action, whichever takes me fancy at the day, but mainly I'm a Chain of Command player, as you all know. Fantastic collection, lovely. Really enjoyed researching this and putting this force together, finding different figures, finding out different uniforms that change throughout the time. I mean, especially from 39 to the time they're going into Russia, into 41 and Barbarossa. The German army uniform actually changes a number of times, and to try and keep up with, I'm going to paint my force 4X. We personally went for, like I said previously, we purposely gone for something that's going to be a sort of cross section, sort of 1940-41, and there is a few variations in there that didn't quite happen until a little bit later, but it will cover that time span. So if I want to go into play Russia, there is options in that element. You know, the figures will look like they are. I'm not a purist by any stretch of the imagination. Long as it looks representative, that's good enough for me. You know, I'm not a rivet counter or an anorak. I don't really. It's how I want to play it, and that's the way I think it looks good and that on the table. So it's for me really, and how I like it. And I don't think that's how wargaming should be. It's a personal thing. Let's face it, none of us truly know the true ins and outs. Books might tell you or whatever, but again, that's subjective. So, but there we have it in a moment, guys. That is the army so far, and I hope you enjoyed what we've done. And until next time, guys, please stay safe and happy wargaming.